Welcome back to Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales. So I reached this place. You can get some recruits here if you make some decisions that would help. I made a bad decision over here.
A dragon! Alive!
And the game has a bad save system. In my opinion. Just the way I see it. Anyway. Okay. A dragon?
A dragon! Alive!
A dragon? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, the map says there is a dragon over here. I just don't fucking believe the map. Anyway. What was that? Alright, some gold. Some resources. That's a shrine that will help with morale. Alright then. So then. Oh. What does this do? I guess I'll find out. I need to check my inventory. But first there are other factors that other things that need to be dealt with. Other treasures to be found, other people to talk to. A map. Pay what he's asked. Okay, benches, a tree, a tent. Some recruits. Not too many. Oh, okay, by the looks of it... Yeah. So what's there, by the way? I see 2 villagers. Might be a fight, might not be a fight.
As Meve and company traversed the ruddy meadows, strident voices reached their ears.
I beg your pardon. I've heard enough. A duel. I challenge you to a duel.
A duel? Nonsense. I'd sooner lay you across my lap and give your arse a thorough flailing, you scoundrel.
The Queen approached the arguing parties. 2 nobles, Lords Cartwright and Mansfield. Quickly she ascertained they were up in arms over ownership of an orchard lying between their estates. Assisting both nobles, their kinsmen, armed to the teeth, prepared to leap at each other and crush heads.
I need
Upon
their men.
spotting Meve, the lords lowered their voices, bowed and presented themselves. Yet they could not keep their ire fettered long, and were soon casting aspersions again.
Your Grace, Mansfield has seized it. No, stolen my land. Land that has been in my family for generations.
It is my recompense for your reckless deeds. To burn down me mill in Furchin for a bit of sawdust in your flour? Well, I never.
A bit? Oh, let me at him. Farmhands taken ill, cooks feverish, all from that manure. You are a fraud, sir. A fraud and a thief.
Though she faced the not at all trifling matter of the Nilfgaardian invasion, Meve agreed to settle the dispute. Reynard, who knew the history of every Lyrian and Rivian family 7 generations back, served as her advisor.
No doubt I would find for the Cartwrights. They are in the right here, as regards the title to the land. Yet your grace must consider, the Mansfields have ever served the crown and never delayed payment of tribute, whereas the Cartwrights, The Cartwrights are litigious charlatans who owe the royal treasury thousands, many thousands.
Alright, Mansfield. You can have the orchard.
The orchard must go to the vassal unburdened by debt. This is what I prefer.
said Meve.
Thus I declare it Mansfield's.
But the law clearly says...
I am the law, Cartwright.
Lord Cartwright moved to debate the matter further, but a snort from Reynard reminded him he stood before his liege. Mansfield, content, made an ample contribution to bolster Meve's force and the realm's defence.
Ha ha ha! So you see, my dear Cartwright, justice has been served.
Well, you owe the crown thousands. Consider it a payment. I got some extra troops as well. Okay. Huh. Alright. Sure. Yeah, I like how the lighting changes when I move in that location. I get the vibe of King's Bounty playing this. The newer versions that it's King's Bounty, the legend that is to be specific. Okay. Damn. Quite a ways away. For what? A bit of treasure? This is worth it. No, it was not. I will be very happy when I can, if I can send scouts to do this shit for me. Some of it. I'd be willing to, pay for it. I mean, you should be able to. If the price, though, of course, you probably don't get as much, right? That's a reasonable way of doing things, I guess. Reasonable. CD Projekt. Heh. The grind is real. Wait.
Whinnies and screams at first. Have all's gone silent.
I'd prefer to keep that shrine. Well, maybe. I guess it's time. Just get it out of the way, right? There's a puzzle. Oh, I need to go down there anyway, 'cause that's where the city is. But before I do that, let's deal with this puzzle. A wyvern? Okay. Was first spotted by Malek, a local half-wit. He had been busy carving obscene words into a birch stump by the roadside. After hastily and effectually cleaning his soiled trousers with a fan leaf, he rushed to the village to warn the others. Nice story, I suppose. Time for a battle. Special rules, shortened battle, etc. If there are no... Oh, this is bad. You are very useful, game. Oh, really?
Can't take it anymore.
Hold on. That was a mistake. I should probably play the wagons first, right?
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am. One boat's all I need. Give me a time.
Alright, that should be enough.
Her Majesty is exceptional.
That wasn't hard at all. Some cards. Well, I keep saying cards when it's wood, right? Few remedies exist for a man who has lost his youthful vigor. The recommended solution is a simple mixture of new dragon egg, a sprinkle of sugar, and a splash of pepper vodka. Should no dragon eggs be readily available, instead boil the liver of a cockatrice after first managing to blend, after massaging in a blend of Zerkanian spices. Clever, I guess. There's a mill. Alright, there's stuff to deal with. Alright, so I'll go south. I imagine I will not get the warmest of welcomes in the city.
On their way to the capital, Meve and company happened one fine day upon a lone rider. Had I been at her side, I would immediately have recognized his passionate gaze and altogether chivalrous mien.
Identify yourself, sir, and your intent.
Ache of Denel I am dubbed, and my design I never conceal. The good book says the world is a garden which the gods once conferred upon man, and we men have this garden neglected. In consequence, all manner of filth has made its lair here. Drowners, ghouls, and other kobolds. I have sworn ne'er to rest until the day when, with the gods' help, I have rid the world of these beasts and pests. I wander all lands, seeking out evil and facing it in mortal combat.
Who do we spy? A knight-errant?
Just as likely a madman. How goes your hunt? Caught the trail of any monster?
Monster? Too fair a term by far. An exceptionally vile worm has made its lair in nearby caverns. It is said to be the very distillation of filth. A slithering horror. A mélange of the macabre. Its head, that of a wild cat of Ophir. Its maw full of spiked teeth. The wings of a bat it is said to have. The tail of a scorpion, and from it, a thick venom drips. Learned men call this variety a manticore, or mardiacore.
Perhaps it will be most prudent, then, to send for a witcher.
A witcher? Soulless automatons they are, all, feeding on common folks' fears. What they demand gold to do, I perform without demand of any coin.
Sir Ake, far be it from me to discourage you. Your endeavor is noble, no doubt, but from what I have heard, manticores are exceedingly dangerous beasts.
To defeat this filth alone could be a difficult task, I'll not deny. Yet try it I must, for it is what I have sworn before the gods.
We shall help you find and fight the manticore, provided you then pledge to help us fight an even fiercer and filthier beast.
Of course, my lady. Yet what manner of horror is it? A viper? A griffin? A drake of some rare form?
Were it only. 'Tis a beast of 1,000 heads, covered in black armor, its fire consuming whole villages.
Noble lady. I know bestiaries only in parts, yet I've seen some of the world, and never have I heard of such a terror.
You need but look about you, and spot Nilfgaard's legions.
Devastating. But you must forgive me, your grace. This struggle between realms is not one to which I can lay a hand.
A manticore. How great is its appetite? How many men does it fell? In a moon, let us say.
It changes. At a time when the horror broods, it may be as many as 20.
I see. As now you must. Nilfgaard in my capital could mean as many as 20,000 felled. You live to fight evil, injustice, do you not? You can fight none greater than by doing so at my side.
The manticore, your grace, must fall first. As to what happens later, I shall need to consult the good book, and petition the gods.
Agreed, so be it. This monster, where lies its lair? Where does it prowl?
To the north, my queen. A few leagues on.
Not a scrap. Not a scrap. Nothing to bury. Blood.
'Tis in these ravines. The beast is...
At the furthest depth of the winding, gloomy canyon, scouts found the maw of a great cavern. Among the boulders outside it, whitening bones lay strewn. Ake dismounted and drew his blade.
By the gods' grace, we've found the beast's lair.
He said, lifting his gaze to the heavens.
We need them but to extend their favor as we battle the filth.
Meve cast a critical eye at her shield. Wood clad in leather and thin plate. Enough to stop a sword, certainly, but would it protect her from a beast's raging blow? Noticing her hesitation, Reynard approached the queen and said,
Your Grace, none will utter a disparaging word should you step back.
But they will think them,
replied Meve.
and that's bad enough. The war has begun. I can't appear weak to my fighting men.
Without awaiting an answer, Meve strode into the cave. The rest of the company followed, equally full of fear and faith in their queen and commander. Moments later, a great and powerful roar filled the cavern.
Okay. Special rules. Okay. Manticores are truly terrifying monsters. One Oxford professor even argued that the bloodthirsty beast's very existence contradicts the widely held belief that the gods are merciful and benevolent. The publication of his thesis led to a heated theological debate. A debate cooled, ironically enough, when the witch hunters had the scholar burned at the stake.
And I beheld the beast! Profane horns didst adorn his wicked brow!
Gods protect us.
Gods beware its claws! The hardest plate they shred like fine vellum! Beware!
Ugh. Lyrian lummoxes.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Left, right, left, right. Again and again and again.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
If the ring won't come off, just take the whole finger.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Hold on. Let me see what other cards I can use. No, this will not work.
And I beheld the beast! Profane horns didst adorn his wicked brow!
Gods protect us.
Paisley.
Beware its claws! The hardest plate they shred like fine vellum!
That is not to reason why.
Again and again and again.
Aye.
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
Beware! Its tail flows with deadly venom!
Left, right, left, right. Again and again and again.
Our ballista, your command. Armor won't save them. One bolt's all I need. Our ballista, your command.
For Rivia!
Keep that vile poison to yourself!
Ah, should have listened to me old lady.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
A knight should help. Our codex commands it. We must thank the gods for this victory both great and just.
Well, it's done. I just needed to buff him
With
up
Ache
enough.
at their side, the Lyrians felled the Manticore. Later, it was said the beast's dying wail, multiplied and strengthened as it passed through the caverns, could be heard as far as Spala.
Your Grace, many monarchs have I met in my time, yet none proved as virile in battle as did your Majesty.
Virile? I dislike the term. Seems not to suit a woman. I prefer valiant. Yet grateful I am for the compliment. Now pray reveal, have you made your decision? Will you swear to serve me? Are you prepared to take an oath?
I am not, Your Grace. I can serve only the gods. Yet, I do believe them to be on your side as one unjustly and treacherously attacked. Thus I see nothing wrong in assisting you.
Then I am content and welcome you in my ranks, Sir Ache of Donnell.
The knight-errant bowed low from the waist. So low, in fact, the gambeson neath his mail creaked. Meve could only hope he would battle Nilfgaardians as boldly as he faced beasts.
Well, he is a competent fighter. Who needs witchers? Right. Well, truthfully, you need witchers because they're one of the few. They're some of the very few people capable of dealing with curses and all kinds of abominations. Mages can too as well, but mages are not really capable fighters in enclosed spaces. So I have a knight. What do we have here?
One of them golden stones belongs on the side of my own ship.
Dwarves? No. No pissing in the fire, no shitting next to the tanks. No, not dwarves. What the fuck? Skellige? Suppose so. Alright, that was an extra card. Seems they're itching for a fight. Two soldiers. I'm kind of missing soldiers more so than anything else. I'd argue.
I see you found the mess tent. How's the ale? Not too warm, I hope.
'Tis not for me to say, Your Majesty. My tankard holds but milk of the goat.
Milk? A witless prank. I shall tell the quartermaster at once what I think of such—
Unnecessary, Your Grace. I called for the beverage.
Is that so? Well then.
The good book states clearly, the shadow of spirits obscureth light most true, and leadeth thee from the path of virtue.
Right. I suppose there's something to it.
My soul sings to hear your affirmation, Your Grace. If ever you wish to discuss the good book and the wisdoms contained therein, hesitate not to find me.
Certainly, I shall remember that. Your crusade against monsters. Have you been at it long?
Come next Bellatane, it will be 20 years, Your Grace. Though, there was one extended interruption.
For what reason? Had you grown weary of the knight-errant's life?
Not in the least. Never shall I cease in my quest to cleanse the world of filth and abominations. But at times evil puts up rather a good fight. I ventured forth to slay a dragon once, a gold one, as it were, calling itself Villa Tretormeft, or the like. Its very name, as is evident, a vile toil for the tongue and wafting wickedness. A great many mercenaries embarked on the hunt, lured by the promise of coin in heaps. The Crinford Reavers, Yarpen Zigrin, and a band of dwarves. Even, curse the word, a witcher. One Yennefer, a most lecherous sorceress, at his side.
That name I've heard.
But at the deciding moment, when the beast challenged all, I alone emerged to face it. Alas, though shame burns me to admit it, I returned from the battle upon my shield. Figuratively. Literally, I returned in pieces. For 2 years, I lay in the Temple of Melitele in Alanda. Mother Neneke, God's protector, nursing me back to full health. And only when I could once more grip my sword did I return to the path I'd chosen.
And the dragon? What was its fate?
Some claim it flew off to Zerrikania, though it very well might yet lurk here, awaiting the opportune moment to terrorize the folk of the north again.
Farewell, Ake.
Yes, Your Grace?
It's time I
I see. I might check the wiki to see if this guy is actually canon or if they made them. I need to remove some cards, clearly. Okay, these guys are worth what? 5. A drummer is 5. Scytheman. Maybe one of them. Yep. Trophies? Oh. Right, whenever an enemy appears, permanent resilience, permanent. Whenever an enemy damages it at random, move to the other row. You reduce her cooldown by 1. Okay, that can be useful. That can be useful as well.
What's a folk moving about of late?
I know that Siegfried may have had a father that didn't have the most stellar of reputations. I'm just trying to figure out if this guy
One
was
evening,
it.
soldiers brought before Meve the elf she had saved from a lynching. It seemed he had been the fiend who had poisoned the water barrels from which several soldiers had drunk, then suffered and died.
Yes, I did it. And I regret it not one bit.
Seethed the elf.
Nilfgaardian, Temerian, some brute from Lyria, you Dwan are all alike. I detest you. All of you, your filth for what you wrought with my brethren. I'm proud. I am that even a few of your kind perished at my hand. Hail and Shay.
Meve pursed her lips into a thin white line. Reynard knew the expression. It did not bode well.
I should drag you to the capital. Hang you high in the market square.
Meve said through gritted teeth.
Yet this you would want. Am I right? For your folk to speak of you? For your folk to remember? Well, you shan't have it. You'll hang here, in the middle of nowhere, with but crows to witness it and then pick at your eyes.
It was a summary execution. No sentence was read, no last wish observed. The elf's corpse then hung long at the roadside, as none came forth to claim and bury it.
The elves, as both the books, the game, and the games make clear many times in the Witcher universe, are just as racist assholes as the humans are. They're just the guys that lost the war. Don't feel sympathy for them. Shame.
We welcome you home, your majesty. Prince Willem awaits your return, your grace.
Sure he does. Sure he'll be very happy with his mother's return. Oh. Hold on. I kind of forgot something there. Alright, I've collected... Hold on. I need to go my camp and see if I picked up every treasure. Yes. Good. I was worried for a second. Such is the way of things. The knight is actually very useful for my kind of playstyle.
Home at last, your grace.
Mm-hmm. We shall not enjoy it long, I fear. Soon we must face the black clads in the field.
Yet a moment's peace we will have. After that drubbing you gave them at Dravigrad, they'll wish to rethink their strategy.
Alright. Quest completed, puzzles completed, standard battles 10-10. You will not be able... Yes.
Meve had ridden out of Lyria in early spring, her retinue modest, as none larger was needed for the brief summit of sovereigns. She returned now to her capital, at the head of an army that dragged behind it bandits and Nilfgaardian prisoners in chains. The whole city came out to greet her. Its traders, craftsfolk, priests. Also, her eldest son and heir, Prince Willem. A boy who, it seemed, might never be prepared to rule. Meve and Willem rode side by side past the cheering throngs, their faces frozen in regal smiles. It was not until they reached the castle stables that they found a corner in which to speak freely, candidly.
Welcome home, Mother. Content I am to see you, to be sure.
And I'm happy to see you. Though I dare say I'd have been much happier to witness you leading an army towards Dravigrad. Willem, I trusted you. Left the realm in your care.
Indeed. And I, in turn, did my utmost to choose the best course for...
Willem, don't be so damned courtly. There's no one else here. My son. Nilfgaard has invaded our home. We're at war. When rulers don't strive and don't choose, when rulers grab their swords and shields and ride out to defend their subjects.
You didn't let me finish.
All right. Say what you wanted to, please.
I feared I'd be hasty, Mother, and I didn't want to be. When we got word of the invasion, the lords convened at the castle. They demanded I hear them out. They wanted to give me counsel. If I'd rushed into the field to confront the foe, I'd have been half blind to the situation, not known all the options I had at my disposal.
A ruler never knows all the options. Yet he must decide and act nonetheless. I need to prepare. I'll see you at the Council of Peers.
And indeed she did, when the peers convened in the throne room. Surrounded by animal hides and Zerrikanian tapestries, the lords stood in tense silence, awaiting the queen. When her figure filled the doorway, they fawningly prostrated themselves.
We've myriad matters to resolve, so I trust you're well rested. Whatever the case, I've no doubt we shall meet the dawn afore we're done. Firstly, we must ask assistance. Pen a letter to King Demavend. Scribe, take this down. Dear... What? Uncle? Cousin? Blast. Again. I, Meve, by the gods' grace, sovereign of Rivia and...
Your Grace. Mother. The peers and I, we've come to propose another solution.
Yes? Out with it.
We wish to acknowledge Nilfgaard's authority. Pledge fealty to the Emperor.
Do you want your heads on spikes? You boys are brave men. I mean, I would propose this to Meve if I was in their position, as hopeless as it is. Why? Because she's the kind of person who will be the last man standing, and she will execute anyone that stands in her way.
I beg your pardon.
The black-clad hordes outnumber our forces manyfold, and they're far better equipped. We stand not the slightest chance against them in open...
Yeah, in open battle. Wars are not just fought in open battles.
You will not lecture me about Nilfgaard's army, my son. All you know of them you garnered from coloured renderings, whereas I faced them at Dravigrad. I faced them and crushed them.
But your grace, the losses. For this fleeting victory in which you delight, how many of your subjects had to perish? Bend a knee afore the Emperor, and you shall spare thousands.
Yes.
Nay, never. Understood, Caldwell. Not ever.
I'd hoped to persuade you, but it seems I've failed. Nonetheless, the die's been cast. We've signed the accord with Nilfgaard. Our noble lords stand with me.
The blood left Meve's face. She had realized her son, who had ever professed to detest politics and shirked his duties as crown prince, had just stabbed her in the back. as had her entire court.
What is this? Treason to my eyes! The gallows is what awaits you!
Willem rules Lyria now. And should you not acquiesce and approve the accord, I fear only you, milady, shall have the pleasure to meet the hangman.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Caldwell. My mother will not be harmed. Not one hair on her head. Understood? Confine the Queen to the tower.
You err deeply, my son.
The Queen was confined to a cell. Gilded armor she had traded for a simple robe. A courtly retinue for a swarm of rats. She was the very picture of misery. At the window of her cell, gripping the bars, Meve stood powerless, her anger so great she wept and wailed. Her Lyria was free no more.
Have I come at a bad time?
Demons take you, Caldwell. You've long been at this scheme, haven't you? You left the strays of Sparla to roam the realm, to forage, so that I would have to look to them. And thus gained your cohorts the time they needed to complete Lyria's sail to Nilfgaard.
You've seen through it all, that's clear. After the fact, of course, but still.
Willem, you turned him. How?
The boy's not fit to wear the crown. Hasn't sufficient wit nor valor. I know this. You know this. Just, he knows it not. Willem fancied himself a statesman, which terribly to prove he was one. I made it possible. I've been amply rewarded, I have. Palatine since just yesterday, in fact.
You'll have neither my blessing nor congratulations. Sorry to disappoint you.
I seek neither. I've come for another reason. To bid you adieu. Willem does not seek your death. Does not even fathom it, as you well know. Moreover, his resolve will wilt in time, and he'll wish to free you. So, come the morn, when the young king rides out to pledge fealty afore General Epdahi, you shall use your bed linens to hang yourself.
Do not do this, Caldwell. You cannot. Let me out, I beg you, and I swear I will.
Adieu, your grace, and use your last evening wisely.
Tricky
Meve
bastard.
felt a rush of despair, yet bit her lip to mute any weeping. No, she would not give Caldwell the satisfaction. Morning arrived with the sound of footsteps in the corridor. Meve rose from her cot and stood in the center of her cell. She was prepared for anything. Well, nearly anything.
Okay, I bet $10,000 that bandit guy we captured, yeah.
The Duke of Dogs.
For the record, I did not check this beforehand. I did not view any videos on this game except the pre-release stuff. I have not seen any Let's Play or anything like that. But come on, you don't design a character like this unless you're gonna use him. What situation would you use him? In a fucking dungeon. See, Project, I'm sorry, but this was really fucking easy to ascertain.
Titles seem senseless under the circumstances, don't you think? Let's forgo them. I'm Gascon.
Has Caldwell sent you? To kill me?
No and a no. Actually, you're free.
How shall I put this? That cad, Count Caldwell, used yours truly and the strays as bait in a scheme aimed at kicking your shapely backside off your throne.
Now, I'm hardly vindictive. First to forgive, in fact. Take your threat to send me to the gallows. Forgotten already. Yet being played for a fool, I cannot abide.
So when the strays freed me, I knew what I'd do to spite the Count afore I disappeared. I'd free you. That's to say, on one condition.
You've got to request it of me, my lady. Courteously.
Never. I'd rather die in this cell.
Steadfast as ever. Even with death hanging over you, calling me impressed, I must admit.
A monarch does not beg. I made that mistake with Caldwell just a second ago, but still.
Ah, call it my loss then. You are free.
And grateful. Now please let me pass. I must get to the city jail at once.
Would you look at this woman? Free her from one prison, she flies off to the next.
They hold Reynard there. And if I've any ally left, anyone who's not betrayed me, it's him. I must get him out.
Hold, milady. Unarmed? Alone?
Have I any other option?
In a sense. See, they locked a few strays in the city pits too. Got a common cause, I'd say. Care to join forces?
The Queen took Gascon up on his offer. Then she, Gascon, and the strays snuck through the city to its dungeon. Reynard had not wavered for a moment in his devotion to the Queen. Never the slouch, he had also not lost any time.
I've inquired among the other arrested soldiers. Many are prepared to fight, even die at your side, Your Grace.
Seems they may yet get their chance. But now we must flee. All of us.
Yet in leaving the jail, the company ran into trouble. When Caldwell's cutthroats had failed to find Meve in her cell waiting for her secret execution, they had informed the Count. He, in turn, dispatched patrols into the streets. The Queen and her cohorts ran into one such unit.
Blast. We shan't outrun them. To arms!
Betrayal. Find an escape route. And thus Lyrian stood against Lyrian. At first Meve fought only to stun, to wound, not to kill. Yet she quickly realized the soldiers opposite her held no such reservation. These men, who had saluted her but a few days before and whose faces she knew well, would pull no punches, soften no blows. Meve had no choice but follow suit. Gain more points than your opponent within 3 turns. Special rules, shorten battle, story battle. And custom deck, of course.
Gascon? Bloody hell, where'd he get to?
Your Grace, we must make haste. Caldwell's roused the whole city by now.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads. Sod it. Sod it all.
How would I do this exactly?
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me. Don't like this.
What the?
There's a time to reap, a time to sow.
Didn't think I'd leave you just like that, did you?
Honestly, I did.
Cursed traitors.
I smell a leak.
Okay.
Sod it. Sod it all.
Your Grace, what guarantee do we have that they won't stab us in the back?
What choice do we have?
You mad? Don't shake that!
Ha! Left, right, left, right.
My favourite cut of lamb? The shank.
Oh, come on already.
Oh, Lady Margarita told us of this.
Which fucking way?
Lyria!
Naturally. At once.
Oh.
Ow!
Two choices, come on.
Again and again and again.
I must be one unlucky as fuck guy. Finally! 3 turns.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
One bolt's all I need. Give me a target. Aye.
Alright, I can boost my units with...
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Done.
I thank you, Gascon. You and your men, for your aid.
'Tis nought, my lady. Strays never say no to a proper brawl.
No brawl this was. Sun rising against Mother. Lyrian striking at Lyrian. I fear a blood war's begun.
Come now. Seems to me the war's ended. Your realm's lost to Nilfgaard. You've no army to speak of.
Then I shall assemble a new one. And with it have Caldwell hanged. And drive Nilfgaard back across the Yaruga.
You're mad. How will you find the men? Riding from hamlet to hamlet, speaking from atop a crate?
No. I shall find them in Edern. I've a favour to call in with King Demavend, and I'll sway volunteers to my cause on the way.
Well, you've your first willing warriors already.
How so?
We've nothing left in Lyria. Our hideouts are compromised, Caldwell's sure to set a price on our heads, and Nilfgaardians roam the land in numbers. Besides, I'll be right tickled to see proud Queen Meve fighting elbow to elbow with a bandit she'd wish to hang just a half day afore.
Well, it is said my foe's foe is my friend, and I'd be a fool to turn down assistance now, no matter who offers. So be it.
Very high-minded of you, my lady. So, shall we shake on't? Nay? Well then, the high road beckons. Though first we must escape the city with our lives. Follow me.
Lyria was hers no more. Meve now had to flee her capital and realm as quickly as she could. Wont to travel the city streets in a gilded carriage, the Queen now saw them from a slightly different vantage point.
Ugh. Is this the only way? Are you quite certain? The Queen
is a common fugitive now, so she'd do better to pinch her nose and whinge not at all.
At long last, Meve reached the gate. Yet this she found shut tight, locked and guarded.
Gods be damned!
Easy, your grace. Nothing we can't solve with a quiver full of quarrels.
Those are our men.
They were, Reynard, were.
Gascon's raiders were poised to loose their bolts, but were thwarted when the Queen stepped out in front of them.
What's she... Your Majesty? I've orders to arrest your Grace.
Place me in irons, then.
Please understand, I haven't a choice.
Fear not. You'll be rewarded by Caldwell in Nilfgaardian Florens.
The captain's head dropped. His cheeks burned crimson.
Go, your Grace. Flee now, but only to return.
Remember this, Gascon. I'm no fugitive. I'm a queen, robbed of her rightful crown. And though I may need to venture to the world's end before I return, I shall have it back.
Indeed. That was the first chapter. What an adventure that's been. I'm sure you will venture across the world.
Having fled Lyria, Queen Meve ventured into Edirn, her old friend Reynard and new ally Gascon at her side. The war had bitten into this land too. Still, Meve hoped to sway King Demavend to her cause, and with his aid, to oust the traitors, retake her throne, and drive the Nilfgaardian invader from her realm. Yet to start, she was forced to fight, Scoia'tael no less. Emerging from a wood, Meve's retinue encountered a unit of elven rebels just moments from hanging a handful of prisoners. Among the latter, the Queen spotted a woman, a proud warrior with a striking, thick black braid.
The lass I believe I know.
Well, unless we rush to her rescue, it'll soon be you knew her.
Well said. Lyrians, attack!
Yeah. Okay, eliminate the Scoia'tael executioners, Black Rayla. Was that the White Rayla? Anyway, it was Meve's first clash with the Scoia'tael warriors. That's a lie. Or was it? Actually, it was. Warriors who bled for the non-human cause. The name translates to squirrels. Okay. Well, how nice that deck has been assembled for me.
Hang the butcher! Valoa!
You're there!
She can't breathe, your Grace. We must rush to her aid.
Easy enough.
The Scoia'tael warriors shocked the Queen with their speed, their cunning, and their cruelty. Yet in the end, the Lyrians prevailed. When the last elf hit the ground, the Queen had her men untie those they'd sought to hang.
1,000 thanks, your Grace. Heard many tales of your valor. Pleased to see they weren't just flattery and propaganda. I'm...
Black Rayla. Hagar, we saw you there. You command King Demavend's special forces.
That's right. Though not many remain to command.
So I see. How did it come to this?
My liege sent me to wipe out a Scoia'tael band, led by a rat called Eldane. Followed the vermin's tracks for several days. Straight into his trap, turned out.
Hunting elves in the woods. Truly inspired, I must say.
Had no choice. Doing nothing would have brought us surer, swifter doom. The Black Clad have invaded Edirn. Thanks to elven aid. They snap our supply lines, lurk like dogs, prey on vulnerable units and scouts.
You mean to say Nilfgaard's broken your defences?
Aye. Though their march will soon halt, believe me. To advance, they'll have to take Rosberg, a stronghold that's yet to fall once. They'll break against its walls like waves upon the rocks.
Rayla, the black swarm I have beheld. Endless lines of infantrymen. countless riders, war machines capable of crushing the hardest stone to gravel.
Your meaning, my lady?
That we must prepare for the worst.
I'll convey your grace's words to the king at the first occasion.
I'd
And
rather hope to convey them myself. I have come to Edern seeking aid. I wish to ask Demavend for support.
The king is in Rosberg, overseeing siege preparations. I'm heading that way too to report on our skirmish with the Scoia'tael. I might serve as your guide. These lands I know better than any.
Black Rayla.
Excellent.
I think I need to go to my tent. That's been an eventful situation. Betrayed. What a damn mess. Units will take 10% less of the recruit cap. Decreases the gold cost of creating units. Increases recruited. I could go for it. Okay, there are things that I need obviously, but first I need to consider. Alright, this is the thing that I'll need. Alright. With Lyria and Meve taken, full strength of army group eased the redirected against Edern. Fierce Edarnian resistance, but border posts fell. Kingdom event pulling back from small garrisons, concentrating forces in heavily defended fortresses. Rosenberg, Aldersburg, Vengerberg. Significant increase in Scoia'tael activity. Attacks on merchant refugees but no Nilfgaardian naval convoys. All evidence indicates Scoia'tael working with the enemy. Letter from Captain Tobias. Your Majesty, though we spoke to each other not long ago, I've no doubt you do not recall my name. I'm the guard who stopped you as you fled Lyria. The guard who doubted you. Your Highness, once more I apologize for my cowardice. Thank you for giving me. I cannot save Lyria from Nilfgaardian talents, but I can write to you about their secrets. I have won myself a post at the palace. I shall keep my ears open, and if I learn anything, I shall inform you at once. Seems Nilfgaard is trying to reserve rush Edern while keeping their lines and Lyria and Rivia in a bad position. It's not exactly a sound military strategy. I think the lore is pretty... There's many gaps, shall I say. I'm not touching. Yeah, I'm not touching this. Let's just say this. I could, if I wanted to. Do I still have... Yeah, I still have him. Yeah. Because I can't because of the points. Anyway, signing out. Stay tuned for more, and if you like my content, support me via Patreon or PayPal. It helps.